Your intensity is directly related to your breathing cadence. So you're either breathing 1, 2, or 3 times in between your lifts. So listen and watch what I'm doing here. Prescribing the intensity that you should be doing for the workout is something I'm not capable of. And that's because how you feel is going to change week to week. Some weeks you're gonna feel stronger and you're gonna be able to sprint. Some weeks you're gonna feel weaker and you're gonna need to give yourself more grace in the workouts. So it's very important that during your specific warm-up, where you're doing the precise movements in the workout, you're getting a feel for how your body feels today and what kind of intensity that you plan to apply. You can always adapt it mid-workout. You'll likely be going into a workout already with an idea of how you want your pacing strategy to go, but it's really important to understand when and why you should make changes to that in the middle of a workout. The first question to ask is that when you are resting, are you taking more than 10 to 15 seconds to rest? If so, think about how fast you are moving and what your breathing cadence is. If you're doing a 1-to-1 breathing cadence and you're sprinting and then it forces you to take a 30 to 40 second rest, we actually need to then decrease the pace so we're moving slower, but we're resting less. So we might be breathing 2 or 3 times in between the reps and then trying to still get that 10 to 15 second rest time frame. If you're still resting longer than this when you're taking ample breathing time in between your set reps, then we may actually need to set the weight down more often. So the example that I have up here today is a 21-15-9 rep scheme of deadlifts and push-ups, of 21 deadlifts, 21 push-ups, 15 deadlifts, 15 push-ups, 9 deadlifts, 9 push-ups, and then that's the workout. The goal is high intensity, but let's just say that you have done similar workouts with deadlifts before, you've excelled with 10 or 15 pounds, and I'm challenging you with a heavier weight. So we're kind of testing the waters with new pacing strategies and what your body's capable of. So in the first set of 21, you're going to be pretty fresh and you're gonna be able to probably use a sprint intensity. But because we're not really familiar with how your body's gonna feel with the new weight, we don't wanna do them unbroken. We're gonna break them up into sets of 2. However, if you wanted to try to do them unbroken, you can do a maintenance intensity from the get-go. Or we can use a sprint intensity, breaking them up where we rest once or twice. But for this example, we're going to set the dumbbells down 1 time, we're gonna sprint through 11, rest 10 to 15 seconds, sprint through 10. Then you're gonna go on to do your push-ups, which will be a different pacing strategy based on your strengths and weaknesses. And then you'll move on to 15 deadlifts. Now at this point, you're gonna be pretty tired, but because that last movement was push-ups and it didn't really spike your heart rate, you're gonna be comfortable doing a 1-to-1 ratio sprint intensity on your first set. So on the 8, you're gonna sprint, you'll rest 10 to 15 seconds, but now you're tired again. So we're going to switch to a 1-to-2 breathing ratio where you're moving slower, but you're not setting the dumbbell down. Every time you set the dumbbells down, you're risking breaking for too long. So breathe in between your sets to slower your heart rate and your reps. Then you're gonna complete 15 push-ups, and then now we're empowered to do our set of 9. My goal for you would be to do it unbroken because it's the last thing that you're going to do, and you wanna dig deep and finish the workout as fast as you can and strong. So you have an option to do sprint intensity if you're feeling good enough. If you're feeling still really fatigued and you want to set the weight down after a few reps, but mentally you want to keep going, just breathe a few times in between your reps. Change your breathing cadence so you're moving slower and it's not spiking your heart rate. It's still an option to set the dumbbells down, take a 5-second break, hopefully in the very end, not too long. I did want to mention though, you can mix and match your pacing strategies with your breathing cadence throughout. So let's just say that you see a 3-3-3, you can do a sprint pacing on the first 3, do a break, And then on the second set of 3, you can slower your pacing, breathe twice in between your reps, and then set it down for no more than 10 seconds, and then try to sprint again in the end. If you're performing a workout that has dumbbells in it, my goal for you is probably gonna stick to the higher sets, so that way you're actually intensely moving for more reps. But over time, when you're starting to use heavier loads or you're getting into barbells, there's a popular workout called Diane that this is kind of based off of that has deadlifts at 155 pounds for ladies and handstand push-ups. When I perform that workout, the stimulus is very different for me than in a workout like this. The handstand push-ups would actually be a strength for me. The deadlifts would be the weakness. So I'll probably do really high reps of the push-ups, and I would end up doing lower reps of the deadlifts because it's very heavy and I'm trying to change my pacing strategies for that kind of load. So for that purpose, that's the reason why I can't really give you exactly what you need to do for the workouts, because it's really based on your strengths and weaknesses and how you're feeling that day. But I hope this visual has been helpful for you. Please feel free to reach out anytime to ask any questions that you might have about your pacing strategies and how I can help improve your workouts.